What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at some McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse figures. So we got a little Batman wave here. So first off, we have the first appearance Batman. So it looks really cool to have Batman from his very first appearance. So that looks awesome with his nice like purple color gloves. So really cool to have that Batman. Then from Knightfall, we have Batman as well, which we've already had before. So once again, this is just a recoloring. So Batman in the gray and black design. So that is cool to have, but not a necessary figure, like I said, since we've already had it. And then finally, we have Mr. Zsasz, which I believe was a McFarlane Toy Store exclusive. So it looks pretty cool with that design with all the scars all over him. He has weird eyes though that I don't really understand, but that is a gold label exclusive. So very cool for these three figures that I'm excited to check out. So let me get them open out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. And we're going to start with the first appearance Batman from Detective Comics number 27 in March 1939. It was written by Bill Finger and drawn by Bob Kane. In the case of the Chemical Syndicate, as the story was called, Commissioner Gordon is investigating the deaths of businessmen, and the Batman arrives to fight off the killer and discover that it's one of the businessmen that was killing off the others to take over their stake in the Apex Chemical Corporation. And when that killer attempts to kill Batman, Batman knocks him into a tank of acid, and then the comic reveals that Batman is actually Bruce Wayne, who was introduced earlier in the comic. So overall, it's cool to finally get the first appearance of Batman. We now have him to go along with our first appearance of Superman that we got more recently, and overall just looks pretty cool. Of course, you can see very similarities to what we see with our normal Batman figure, but just him in his first appearance. So we can see, starting with his cowl, that he's got the long ears, so the ears come up really high. So that's, the original design for Batman with these taller ear designs, but we still get the Batman like face. So you can see part of his mask around his mouth and chin with the white eye designs, and of course all black with the cowl and cape that hangs off his back, which looks pretty nice. It's a nice fabric material here, some sort of plastic, but I love how it's got the little cutouts there, and there is some metal wire in the end, so you can sort of get it spread out, trying to like recreate that old Batman design that I think is pretty cool. So that's awesome that it's got that, so you can obviously move it around and get it in different positions. Then we get his outfit. So he's mostly this all gray spandex, so from neck all the way down to the boots with the gray spandex design. He's got a little tiny bat logo on his chest. He's got the black underwear with a yellow utility belt there with all sorts of little like pockets or capsules around it. It's weird that he's got the gloves that are purple, so I don't know why he had purple in the original, but that's what he was wearing in this one. So we get the purple gloves there. Again, the gray legs continue down all the way to the black boots. So he's just got some black boots that come up pretty close to his knee there. So pretty awesome to get this design. Like I said, nice to have the first appearance of Batman. But we can do his movement, so his head will twist around, so it'll twist all the way around, and it's at the neck, so it's got a neck joint down here, and the whole head's on that, and they can look down that far, so it looks down really far, and then up. That's as far as I can get it to go. It's just pretty much straight on, maybe a tiny bit up from straight on, so not much, but it can look down really far, which is kind of crazy. Then we get the shoulders that do come up to 90, and it has like the butterfly joint there and can rotate around. We get the bicep twist and the very stiff double elbow joints that can bend up that far, which isn't bad at all. Then we get the wrist that'll twist around again on that ball joint and then flex up and down there. Then we can go to the ab crunch, so we get the upper ab crunch that'll crunch back and forth and twist all the way around, and then the lower ab crunch at the waist, so we'll crunch back and forth and twist all the way around at the waist as well. Then we go down to the hips that'll come up. You can get it up to 90 there before, of course his leg got bent, but up to 90 and out to the side, not far from doing the splits, very close to it. Has a little bit of a thigh twist in the legs there, and the double knee joint that'll bend back, again pretty stiff in the knees as well, but can bend back that far, so pretty much kicking himself in the butt, so that's really good. And then down to the foot that'll flex back and forth, can twist side to side, and has the toe joint on the end. So pretty good. Has the standard McFarlane movement, so not surprised there, just all the same joints. It just depends on the design of the body, how much movement and range we get, but overall he works out pretty good. Just stiffness in the elbows and the knee joints there, unfortunately, so have to fight with it and work on it a little bit there, but overall it works out nicely. But for accessories, he does come with some additional hands. Again, they will be in those purple gloves. So we get some flat hands, maybe for like swinging or sort of, I wouldn't say flying, but he doesn't really fly, but like swinging or something, just some flat palm hands. Again, I love like the glove designs with the purple. That's pretty cool. And then we do also get these sort of like weird grip hands. I don't know what you do with those, but some weird grip hands with the fingers out like that. Again, in the purple. And the weapon he comes with is a pipe wrench. So we get this old school pipe wrench in this nice pale blue color, which is pretty cool. So we can put that into his hand. Wait, I just realized he doesn't really have a standard grip hand. Like, he just has these, but I don't know how you really get this in there to say. I'm sure you could put it in and just like sort of gently hold it, but he doesn't have any just like standard grip hands. I just noticed. So he comes with this wrench, but can't truly hold it or anything. So kind of weird that he comes with that and can't even use it. We of course also get the base plate, so we get that to put him on. And finally, we have his card. So there's the front of the comic from Detective Comics number 27. So the first appearance of Batman there, which is pretty cool. And if we spin around, we get the standard Bruce Wayne story. So just the generic one. I'll go ahead and read this. But it says Batman dedicated his life to an endless crusade, a war on all criminals in the name of his murdered parents, who were taken from him when he was just a child. Since that tragic night, he has trained his body and mind to near physical perfection. To be a self-made superhero, he developed an arsenal of technology that would put most armies to shame, and he's assembled teams of his fellow heroes like the Justice League and the Outsiders. In the name of his murdered parents, Bruce Wayne wages eternal war on the criminals of Gotham City. He is vengeance, he is night, he is Batman. So there's good, just basic explanation of Batman. And funny enough, we will see that same story again on the next figure. But overall, pretty cool to see the first appearance of Batman. And now that we have him, like I said, we can bring in the first appearance Superman as well. It's weird how crazy the height difference is. And I even have them on base plates as well, so they are the same height there. So it's just crazy how short Superman is compared to Batman. So I feel it should be reversed. But there we've got our first appearance of both of our big characters there, of Superman and Batman. So awesome to get this first appearance Batman with the nice classic design. Nice to have the nice cape, fabric cape with the wire in it, so we can get it bent around and posed up. And then him coming with the purple gloves, which is always funny. So very cool to have the first appearance Batman. And next up, we have the Knightfall version of Batman, but in the black and gray design. Now, in this storyline, we see Batman gets crippled by Bane and replaced by Jean-Paul Valley as Azrael. But when Azrael becomes violent and unstable, Bruce decides he must get back into shape to reclaim his role as Batman. So again, we've had this version before. I will show you that one. Of course, I always picture him, especially from Knightfall, in more of the blue and gray design. But it's cool just to have the classic look of the black and gray. That's always, my more preferred look. But like I said, for Knightfall, it just happens to me more of the blue and gray, but looks cool here. Like I said, it's the exact same figure we've already looked at before. Has the black cowl and cape, and of course he does have the tall ears, so very similar to that first appearance. Of course, the Batman face, so he's got a frowning face all there and the white eyes, but still looks good. Again, the all spandex outfit from the neck all the way down to the boots. Nice Batman logo on his chest, nice classic logo, iconic logo. Black gloves with the spikes on the gauntlets. Black underwear with the utility belt, once again with the little tiny capsules this time. Gray leggings down to the black boots, so very similar design to that last figure as well. Just obviously you can see from his first appearance to his more later appearance of Knightfall in the 90s. And then we get his cape on the back as well, so just as all black cape, this time it is the plastic material, but still has the jaggedy edges on the bottom and looks pretty good. But for movements, we just had that all twist all the way around. You can look down that far and up that far, so not a whole lot of range. Looks up further than the last one, but not nearly as much down. So not great movements for that. We get the shoulders that come up to 90 with the butterfly and rotate around. We get the bicep twist and the double elbow. That again is pretty stiff on it, but can bend up there, so all the way up for him. And then we get the wrist that'll twist around, and this has more of the blended in wrist design, and it can rock back and forth there. Then we can go to the ab crunch, so we get the upper ab crunch, so crunch back and forth, not a whole lot, but it does crunch a little there and can twist all the way around. And then of course we go down to the waist where he'll crunch back and forth and twist all the way around. Then we go to the hips, that'll come up to 90 and then out to the side. He can do the full splits there. And then we do get a little bit of a thigh twist, not much, but a little bit back and forth. The double knee joint, that again has issues as well, that can bend up that far to the back, so not nearly as far as the first appearance, but not bad. And then we go down to the foot, that'll rock back and forth, twist side to side, and has the toe joint on the end. So yeah, pretty much the exact same joints and movement designs. Like I said, some doesn't have as good as range. Some joints are a little better, some are worse, but not bad overall. Like I said, it works about the same, so it's not surprising at all, especially between Batman figures. But for hand accessory wise, we do get some additional hands. So we do get a grip hand and a fist hand, which are the opposites of there. So we get a grip for the right and a fist for the left. So again, he has the opposites. And then we get a battering as well. So we get a battering. We just just kind of stick into his hand. So again, he never holds the batarangs perfect, but I just got stuck into his hand like that. It's the best I could do for him. He of course comes with the base plate. I always got that to put him on. And then we get his card as well, which is just a generic Batman card. I don't think that's from Knightfall at all. It looks like he's maybe finding the Mad Hatter there, but it looks pretty cool just in the black and white. So it says black suit variant of Batman, and then has the exact same story from the last card on this one again. So it's funny how it's the exact same, just a different card cover that time. But there we've got the black and gray version of the Knightfall Batman, and of course we have the blue and gray as well. So again, I always picture the blue and gray more for Knightfall, so that'd be my preferred. But the black and gray, like I said, it looks iconic. You could use this for just about anything if you want, just use him for any generic Batman, but both of those look really good together. And now cool to have the black and gray version of the Knightfall Batman. And our final figure today is Mr. Zsasz, also known as Victor Zsasz. He was from a wealthy family, but after his parents died, he went into a deep depression and gambled away all the money. Unhappy with his life, he decided to jump off a bridge, but before he could, he was robbed at knife point by a homeless man. He got the knife away from him, and seeing the terror in the man's face gave him a new lease on life, so he decided to liberate people from their miserable existence, and to keep track of all those he helped, he would carve tally marks into his body, and that would begin his life as a serial killer. So it's finally cool to get a Victor Zsasz in the DC Multiverse. Now this would definitely be a design I wouldn't care for. Obviously it carries out the look of Victor Zsasz, where he's, mostly shirtless, or you see a lot of skin, so you can see all the tally marks of all the people he's killed. But then the head and like face design, I don't really get it, especially with his eyes. And I don't know if these are supposed to be like sunglasses or glasses of some sort, if they're just his weird eye designs. Like, not sure at all what's going on there. But he's got the smile, of course, the toothy smile, which doesn't look horrible on this figure. Like, it's still not a good design, but I just think it works a little bit better. I'm not sure why it seems better that way. But then it has the blonde hair as well, with a nice like haircut design on that. Looks pretty good for him overall. Like I said, just don't understand the eyes with the black like pieces hanging off the side and the little white dots and stuff. Like I said, weird, but I don't think it looks absolutely horrible. Then we get his body again. Like I said, mostly we get a lot of skin showing, so he's shirtless this time with the tally marks all over his body, so he has killed a lot of people. But as you see, there's none on his back, so it'd be cool if they would have carried it around. But of course, then I don't know how he would carve onto his back. He'd have to like reach around and mark, and hopefully gets in the right spot. Needs like a full body mirror to be able to see back there, or get someone else to do it for him. But yeah, it kind of makes sense. You don't get in those hard to reach places, but it'd be cool just to see him completely covered. And then he's just got a pair of pants that look like blue jeans, or just some sort of bluish gray color pants. Got a belt around the waist with a silver buckle, and then he is barefoot as well, so we get some bare feet there that they're starting to use. Overall, not bad. Like, very basic figure. Just looks almost like a generic guy with some tattoos or printing on him with the tally marks and then the weird eye designs, but otherwise just looks like a normal human. But for movements, we'll get the head that'll twist all the way around. Can look down that far and up that far. So again, not the best movements ever. Looks down good, but not up very much. We get the shoulders that come up to 90 with the butterfly and rotate around. We get the bicep twist and the double elbow joint. Again, a little bit stiff in the elbow, but can bend all the way up on itself, so really good. The wrist will twist around and has more of the blended joints, can flex back and forth. Then we go to the ab crunch to get the upper ab crunch back and forth, so he crunches pretty decent and twist all the way around. And then again, at the waist can crunch and twist all the way around. Then we go down to the hips that come up that far, so not all the way up to 90. That's even forcing it, so not far off, but it doesn't fully reach. And out to the side that far, so can't fully do the splits either. We get a little thigh twist for him, and the double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back, not far from kicking the butt. And the joint that'll rock back and forth, can twist side to side, and has the toe joint on the end. So again, the same McFarlane joints, just works a little bit better, has a little bit better range, it seems, than most figures. Still not as good as that first appearance Batman, but still pretty good for what he's got overall. But for accessories, the only thing he comes with is a kitchen knife, so we get this bigger kitchen knife design, which is cool. Of course, the blade is all thick, so it's just got a thicker design overall that I always hate about the McFarlanes. I wish they'd look a little more realistic, but he's just got a nice blade that we can put into his grip hand. Looks like he's only got the one grip hand on the left, so we have to put it in there. And with that, we can sort of pose him up like he's carving into his skin, like he just killed somebody, so that looks really cool. Maybe add some little red paint for blood or something on the knife in his arm. Would be awesome just to sort of paint it up a little, so that looks pretty cool. Of course, he comes with the stand we can put him on, and we get the card. So there's a different version of him from the comics, of course, all nice and skinny and weird looking there, but him holding Batman's cape with the knife, so that looks pretty cool for Mr. Zsasz. And on the back, we have Mr. Zsasz, also known as Victor Zsasz, that he is Gotham City's most ruthless serial killers. Zsasz's descent to madness began after his parents died. He gambled away their fortune at Penguin's iceberg casino. When the money ran out, the Penguin suggested that he should go and kill himself. As Zsasz was about to do just that, he was attacked by a knife-wielding madman. Zsasz dispatched his assailant and experienced an epiphany. Life was meaningless, but killing made everything comprehensible. He embarked on a murder spree, slaying hundreds and recording each with a cut on his body. So there's good explanation of Zsasz, of course, mostly what I already went through, but very cool to get Mr. Zsasz. Like I said, not my favorite design for him, but still pretty cool to actually get one to add to the collection. Well, that's me for our 3 DC Multiverse Batman related figures, where we got the first appearance Batman, the black suit variant of Knightfall Batman, and then Mr. Zsasz that was a gold label exclusive. So very cool for all 3 of these figures. Of course, adding more Batman to collection, always not that interesting, but really cool to at least get the first appearance Batman. And then, like I said, I do really like the black and gray version of the Knightfall Batman. Like I said, it can easily just be used for any Batman if you want. It's just got that nice basic design to him. And then Zsasz is cool. Don't like his appearance too much, but cool, like I said, just to get a Zsasz in the collection. So let me know what you thought of these 3 down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know with that thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button to see more. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.